Hey there, it's Mr. Ray again, and today what we're doing is completing the square, okay? First of all, what is completing the square? Is it taking a square and completing it like this? No. What completing the square in math is this. What completing the square is taking a quadratic, okay? ax squared plus bx plus c that we've seen in other videos and other tutorials that I've done, and turning it into a different form, just changing the form so that it's equal to a times x minus h squared plus k. Basically, you're making it a squared, a binomial squared plus a constant. And this h and this k, that's going to be very important because that's going to turn out to be good for the graph when we graph, because that ends up being the vertex. So this is very, very important to be able to do this because you're going to use this in many ways. So what we're going to do today is we are going to take these quadratics and we're going to complete the square. Now notice this is a is equal to 1 because it's going to be a little bit more difficult always, as always is the case, when a is not equal to 1, when a is greater than 1. So we're going to do completing the square with these quadratics when a is equal to 1. And we're going to get started with the first one, number 1, number 2, and number 3. And then I'm going to have you do one on your own. And then you can see part 2, which is going to be when a is greater than 1. Okay, let's take a look at the first one. So we have x squared minus 3x plus 2. And by the way, can you factor that? Yeah, that would be x minus 2 times x minus 1. And that becomes important because when you're graphing, you're going to get 2 points, 1, 0, 2, 0. Anyways, that we're going to complete the square here, okay? Okay, the very first step is what you're going to do is you're going to put the x terms inside parentheses. Make it white, inside parentheses. X squared minus 3x inside the parentheses, okay? So that term there, that term there. Now I'm going to leave a space right here, okay? I'm going to leave a space there, and I'm going to put the constant 2 on the outside, and I'm going to leave a space right there next to the 2. What am I going to put in that space? What I'm going to put in that space is b divided by 2 squared. I'm going to add it. What am I going to do on the outside next to the 2? I'm going to subtract the same b divided by 2 squared. Actually, it's not exactly the same. In the next video, when I do a greater than 1, it's actually a times b divided by 2 squared, okay? However, because we're doing a is equal to 1, it really doesn't matter for this part, okay? But just remember that it's a little bit different on the outside. Don't worry about that right now. Right now, we're going to do negative b over 2 squared, and inside b over 2, positive b over 2 squared. So what does that look like? Well, that looks like exactly like this. I'm going to have a 3 divided by 2, 3 divided by 2, and I'm going to square it, leaving it positive. I know it's a negative 3. However, it's squared, so it's positive. I'm going to add that here. I'm going to subtract that here, okay? The 3 is the b. Now, what am I going to get? I'm going to get x squared minus 3x plus 9 over 4. What am I going to get out here? I'm going to get the positive 2 minus 9 over 4. Okay, now, what am I going to get here? Well, this is a square. What is it? It's x minus b over 2. If you don't know, this negative follows. You have a negative here, so it follows, and it goes right there. So that would equal, okay, that would equal x minus 3 over 2 squared, the b over 2 squared. And out here you can see that 2 minus 9 over 4 is minus 1 over 4, and that is our answer. If this is unclear, I'm going to do a few more examples, okay? But basically, you leave a space You leave a space, you leave a space, you add b over 2 squared, and you subtract b over 2 squared. Okay, let's take a look at another example. Okay, so we have x squared minus 8x plus 5. Again, I'm going to go a little bit quicker. So we're going to have parentheses, x squared minus 8x, and I'm going to leave a space. I'm going to have a 5 plus 5 on the outside, and I'm going to leave a space. Space here, space here. What do I add on the inside? B over 2 squared. What do I subtract on the outside? Minus b over 2, so b over 2 squared. I'm going to add and subtract. Okay, so what does that give me? Well, that gives me this. That gives me x squared minus 8x plus 8 divided by 2 squared. In the parentheses, on the outside, I'm going to have a plus 5 minus 8 over 2 squared. Plus and minus. See what I'm doing? Because that balances the equation. When you add and subtract, you don't change anything. You add and subtract the same thing on the same side. So what am I going to get here? Well, I'm going to get x minus 8x, right? And a b over 2, well, that's going to be 4 divided by 8 divided by 2 is 4, squared is going to give me 16. Then I'm going to have a 5 minus 16 on the outside. 5 minus 16, and that's going to give me a negative 9. Sorry, there's a square there, right? Okay, now we're going to get x minus, the same minus follows, minus, 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 so there's a minus here, okay? And it's going to be b divided by 2, which is 4, squared, minus 9, okay? And if you want to check that, well, you can square that real quick. X squared minus, it becomes 8x plus a 16 minus 9 does give me x squared minus 8x plus 5, and that's a check, okay? Now, let's do another one. Next one, I'd like you to try the next one on your own and see if you can do it, and I will be right here. Okay, so try this one on your own. Now, this is a little bit different. How is this problem different than the previous two? Well, there's a positive there. What does that mean? Well, that means your answer is going to be x plus something squared. So that positive is going to follow right there, okay? That's the only difference. The rest I think you can do on your own. So try this on your own. Pause the video, and I'll be right here. All right, welcome back. Okay, so what am I going to do real quick? Well, it's the same step. I'm going to have x squared plus 11x in parentheses, and I'm going to have the plus, I'm going to have the plus 4 on the outside, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add b over 2 squared, and I'm going to subtract b over 2 squared. Okay, so what is that going to give me? Well, 11 over 2 squared, 121 over 4. Add that. Subtract it here, 121 over 4. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is getting into some big fractions. That's okay. That's okay because that often happens. Now, you're going to get x, so this is going to turn into, right, this part right here is going to turn into, remember, x plus b over 2 squared. So that's going to be x plus 11 over 2 squared. Okay, now I have over here, I have a 16 over 4 minus 121 over 4. And that's going to be negative 105 over 4. Okay? And if you want to check this, you can. So if you want to check this real quick, you can check this by multiplying it out. X squared plus, you'd have 11 over 2x plus 11 over 2x plus 121 over 4. And that's going to be minus 105 over 4, which gives me x squared plus 11x if I add these two together. And then that would be plus 16, right? 16, okay? And that would be over 4, which would be 4, and that checks. Okay, I'm going to give you another bonus problem real quick. Okay, welcome back to the last problem, and this one is when a is greater than 1, which is what I'm going to do in the next video. I don't have enough time in this video, it'd be too long, but a is greater than 1, not equal to 1, so greater than 1. How is it different? It's only different in one little part, one little area. My first step is going to be to factor out of the 2 out of the first 2 terms, the x terms. Factor out a 2, factor out a. Factor out a. So I'm going to have x squared plus 4x. I'm going to leave, I'm going to leave a little bit. Let me change that real quick. I'm going to leave I need some space right there. So I'm going to need a little bit of a space. I'm going to add the 3 on the outside. I'm going to leave a little bit of a space. So what is the difference, Mr. Ray? Well, on the inside, it's going to be the same. B divided by 2 squared. You're going to add that. But it's this B, not that B. And the other difference is you're going to subtract A times B over 2 squared. Right. That right there is the big difference. So what do I mean? Okay, so what I mean is this. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to have 2 times x squared plus the 4x, b divided by 2 squared. So plus 4 divided by 2 squared, which is going to be 4, plus 3 on the outside minus the 2 times 4 divided by 2 squared. And that is the only difference. Did you see that? That 2 right there is the only difference. You have to multiply by a for the constant on the outside. Now, let's go ahead and see what this gives us. This is going to give me a 2. It's going to give me an x. It's going to give me a plus because the plus sign follows. The plus sign follows. It's going to give me 2 squared. So 2 times x plus 2 squared plus a 3, and then 2 times 4 over 2 squared is going to give me 8 plus 3 minus, plus 3 minus the 8. Minus 8, not minus 5. It's going to give me minus 5. So this is equal to 2 times x plus 2 squared minus 5. Okay, so if we were to check this, would we get back the original? Well, let's take a look. We're going to have 2. Inside, if we expand, we're going to x squared plus 4x plus 4. And on the outside, we're going to have a minus 5. That's going to give me 2x squared plus 8x plus 8 minus 5. That gives me 2x squared plus 8x plus 3. Is that what we originally had to begin with? Yes. Check. So what do I mean? I mean when you're, the message here, the thing to remember is that when you have that constant, remember that 3 was on the outside, is to subtract, one more time, a times b over 2 squared. A times b over 2 squared. That was the only difference. So if you can remember that, you can do a greater than 1. And maybe you don't even need the next video, but I'm still going to do the next video, which is going to go over how to complete the square when a is greater than 1. My name is Mr. Ray. If you have any questions, please let me know. Again, like and subscribe this if this is helping. That really helps me. It helps the channel, helps the algorithm, helps this video to get to more people. And what I would really like to do is do a series where each video builds on the next. Each video will build on your skills. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.